Bonus coverage in the light heavyweight division. Colm Keane from Ireland against John Douglas, who comes from New York City. Douglas in here with a less than opposing 2-5 record with just 1 KO, and Keane is 4-0. And we'll see what Colm brings to the evening.
If we were to get an early knockout in this fight, then there's something bizarre in the air, because the other fights you said, okay, you had power punches. Here you got 1 knockout in 4 fights, and you've got 1 knockout in 7 fights. So if it happens now, it's just a theme.
Then we know that's the way the evening is going to go. There's something in the air, perhaps. And there is John Douglas, the light heavyweight, a 30-year-old from New York City, who, as we said, comes in with a 2-5 record. He's only got the 1 KO. And he will be looking to pull an upset over Colm Keane. It will take an upset with that record for Douglas to win this.
There's some unique aspirations for Colm Keane. He's trying to be somebody to distinguish himself in those weight divisions.
Yeah, he's hoping to, as we said, become the first Irish fighter, and he's a full-blooded Irishman from Galway, Ireland. Now living in Dorchester, Massachusetts. His idols were Barry McGuigan and Sean Mannion growing up. And the music you're hearing, of course, is for Colm Keane.
You're the blue?
Damn right. No.
The traditional Irish music, and Colm Keane, of course, is decked out in green. What else? And there he comes into the ring here at the Sands Hotel and Casino. He is a 22-year-old. As we said, he's managed by Martin Realish, who also is his trainer, and co-manager is Lou Duva with Duva Boxing. And we'll take a look at the tail of the tape in this one and see what it reveals for Colm Keane and his opponent, John Douglas.
Keane is much younger. Age is on his side. He's a little bit taller at 6'2". Reach only 1 inch. And the weight very similar. So the big factor for Keane is that he's 8 years younger.
And there are the rules again, same as we have had throughout the evening as you look down them. And so that will be what guides this fight as we get set to go here for a 6-rounder. And it is in the light heavyweight division. And to get us started on this one, let's send things up to Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout of the evening is presented by Corporate Sponsors International under the promotion of Duva Boxing in association with the Sands Casino Hotel, Atlantic City, Pennzoil, Cardenas Markets, Simon Ice Car Wash, and Corona La Cerveza Mas Fina. It is scheduled for 6 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Eddie Johnson. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing blue, weighing in at 178 pounds. From New York City, New York, he has a professional record of 2 victories, 1 coming by way of knockout with 5 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Big John Douglas. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing black, gold, green, and white, weighs in at 180 pounds. All the way from Galway, Ireland, his professional record reads 4 victories, 1 coming by way of knockout with no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Colm Keane.
Boss, the both people giving you instructions to the dressing room. I respect a good, clean fight. Touch glove. When the bell ring, come out doing it.
So we're set to go in this light heavyweight matchup. It is a 6-rounder. There is Colm Keane. who is fighting here out of the United States, but as we said, is from Galway, Ireland. And that is John Douglas. I've never met anyone from Galway. You know, you sing the song Galway Bay a million times. It's a beautiful Irish tune. But I wasn't even sure there really was a Galway Bay, even though it was in the song. But there is.
Now it's true.
He has verified that, and has verified that it's beautiful, which the song says. So I learned an important historical and geographical lesson. Good right hand by Colm Keane. Using the jab early on is Keane, and here comes Douglas.
Douglas looking for the right hand over the top of that jab. If Keane paused with it, then Douglas will be set up to go after him.
Douglas being very aggressive in pursuing him, also one might say a little reckless, leaving himself open.
You come in with this record, you see the other guy 4-0, 1 knockout, you say, hey, maybe this is a soft spot in this. Go after him early, take the shot.
You might as well. That's more refreshing than a guy that's 2-5 coming in here and deciding he's just going to lope along for a round or two. Just about a minute, a little over a minute gone here, or about a minute gone in the first round.
It was a good body shot by Keane.
Keane getting hit with the right hand there. So the aggression, left hook may have hurt Keane. John Douglas is whacking Keane with some big shots. So he's taking his chance early here, and it's paying off so far. But here comes Keane. Right hand drives Douglas back. Left hook gets in again by Douglas. He's found a home for that punch. So we have a very entertaining first round here.
Douglas goes forward, and Keane answered at the appropriate time to keep it at a distance as far as Douglas was concerned.
Right hand downstairs by Keane. Under a minute left to go in round one, and there's a big left hook landing, and again a left hook, and that sends Douglas back. So the early advantage that Douglas had in this round being eroded a little bit by Keane right now.
So that was a strong left hook by Keane.
Punch out of there.
Again, the left hook getting in by Douglas, so he has really been able to land that punch. Half a minute left to go in round one.
Good combination by Keane.
There comes Douglas, though, after Keane did land those good shots. So round one, very, very entertaining. While we don't have world-class fighters right now in there, guys at the beginning, they are getting it done. So round one was very exciting. Both fighters, I think, stunned at various times during that round.
They both did some very good things offensively.
Ready to go now, really. Yeah, I'm gonna get some more. He's ready to go now. Really. Yeah, huh? He's ready to go now. You understand what I'm saying to you? But I need you to go with more jabs. You hear me? Okay. I need you to go with more jabs, man. I need you to go with more jabs. You got me? And hard jabs.
I'm out of here.
Well, highlight time for both. Douglas able to get to Keane. That right hand scored. Then to the body, and here he had a flurry going. And with Keane going back against the ropes, he really was on the verge of some serious good things. But then Keane, at this moment, was able to recover and come back at him.
We move into the second round. Colm Keane in the green and black, taking on John Douglas.
Punch out.
And I could be wrong, but I know they're not speaking English. I think they're speaking Gaelic to Colm Keane in his corner. I heard them yelling out the instructions in what I believe is Gaelic. I'm not a linguist, but I believe that's true.
Been all over that angle. You're probably right with that tonight. Gotta be. Hey, you know, with Douglas 2-5, it coming out and really taking his chance in the opening round. Don't know what it took out of him as Keane is coming on here.
Colm Keane now raking Douglas over the coals with those left hands. But, you know, Douglas is not giving up here. He is still firing back.
You know, we see 2 and 5 on the record books, but the fighter looks at that, can automatically talk himself up to 5 and 2. Look at a couple fights that he could have won.
Right.
And then in his mind, say, wait a second, you know, this is not a fight where I'm the underdog, despite what the record says, and he comes out and fights like he's not the underdog.
And that is really what Douglas is doing in this fight. Keane now probably landing the harder punches. Big right hand by Keane. Halfway through the second round, it is scheduled for 6. Colm Keane, the 22-year-old, taking on 30-year-old John Douglas.
Stay on it out.
Keane all the way from Galway, Ireland, although he is living in Dorchester, Massachusetts now. Had a 61-8 record in Ireland as an amateur and 27-3 in the United States as an amateur fighter.
Douglas backing up here and working the body well with the hooks. And usually they've gone back and forth.
Dave, Keane has trouble delivering the right hand properly.
Yeah, he's never really been able to use it directly behind the jab, and then as a result, when you don't use the jab first, you could be firing that right hand when you're back on your heels, and as a result, you don't get the full leverage on it, and sometimes they then come up short.
Pushes that punch a lot, too. So that's something they have to work on. Under a half a minute left to go here in round number 2. And if this one goes 2 rounds, it'll be the first time this evening we've gotten this far. So we got a lot more coming for you here on CSI Boxing, and guess what? Douglas coming back. This is getting interesting.
Some traditions are handed down, others handed off.
The handoff, Lamar Smith, right side.
Miami Dolphins, the tradition continues. It's our countdown to kickoff. Become a proud Miami Dolphins season ticket holder for as low as $200. Dolphins football is back. Call 1-888-FINS-TICKS.
When you call Compact Direct, you'll get a PC built exactly the way you want it. Like the Compact Presario 5000T, starting at just $839. Choose a fast Intel Pentium 3 processor, hard drive, memory, monitor, options like a CDRW drive, and even your choice of colors. Call 1-800-276-2360 today and get a free compact printer and $50 instant rebate.
Welcome back to the Sands Hotel and Casino. Al Bernstein along with Dave Bontempo. We're so glad you joined us, and we are in the middle, almost right in the middle of a 6-round light heavyweight matchup between Colm Keane on the left of your screen, who came in here with a 4-0 record from Galway, Ireland, by way of Dorchester, Massachusetts, against John Douglas, who is 2-5 from New York City. And it's been a very entertaining matchup, quite an ebb and flow.
2 guys who come in with not the big punching records, and as a result, they've engaged in a free-for-all. They don't have to worry about the other guy's power, so they're coming in. And they have gone back and forth, and with Douglas belying his 2-5 record with his aggression and his intensity here. And just when he's on the verge of stuff, he comes back on.
Dave, you hit on it, too, when you looked at the knockouts of these 2 fighters. Neither man is a really big puncher, so that's what's creating a fight where there can be a lot of give and take, and now here goes Douglas becoming a lefty.
Unique development in the middle of this fight when he's just done some very good things as a righty. It's a nice idea to change sometimes, maybe when things are not going well, but a lot of guys do it and interrupt their progress when they've been doing something good.
Off balance is John Douglas, and here comes Keane trying to take advantage of that. Lands one of his better right hands. That one of the best right hands he's thrown tonight, and it chased Douglas back.
And how much flow did Douglas lose turning left?
That's a very good point. Just over a minute left to go here in round 3. It is scheduled for 6.
Okay, punch out of there, punch out of there.
There you go. Hard jab, John.
They wanted Douglas to use his jab more in his corner a round or 2 ago. He really hasn't done that.
As a result, his punches have been coming wide, maybe not getting the full effect of what he'd like to get out of them.
Keane landing his right. Under a minute left to go now in the 3rd round. To approach the halfway mark of this fight.
You hit on it with his right hand with Keane too, really pushing that out, not able to snap it or keep it tight.
Douglas gets the left hook in and maybe stunned Keane. Early in the 1st round, remember, Douglas landed that punch and hurt Keane with it. And he's coming after him.
Well, he put track shoes on Keane. That left hook started him around the ring.
2 and 5 or not, Douglas thinks he's got a shot here. So, a very intriguing 3rd round, and in our main event, this is the man of the hour, David Toledo, 31-2, from Paterson, New Jersey, ranked 5th by the IBF, and a guy, Dave, that believes he could have a world title shot as a featherweight or junior featherweight pretty soon.
You get into those rankings, you do the lobbying, your brother's involved, you know, you have a lot to look forward to.
His brother Frank is fighting Botil for the IBF featherweight championship on April 31st, and David said, you know what, if not me, the only other guy I'd like to see get that shot is my brother Frank, who is 6 years older than him.
And then he said, but I should have get one first.
It wouldn't hurt. So we are moving into the 4th round of this 6-rounder, a match that probably has been controlled mostly by Keane, but not entirely. And we saw evidence of that toward the end of the last round, round 3, when
punch out.
We saw John Douglas really come on and land some big left hooks.
Keep him up. Let's go.
Caution for low blow to Douglas.
And you can't give a man power, unfortunately for Douglas, because he landed some flush shots. Stuff that, yeah, naturally a stronger fighter, you can really do damage with the openings and the punches he was able to deliver. He landed a lot of flush shots.
Double left hook by Keane, one of his best combinations of the fight.
Get out of this corner.
Sends Douglas reeling against the ropes.
Not hard jabs, man.
With a minute left or gone in this 4th round, Keane feinting a little bit with his jab and then lands a big right hand behind it.
That was a slow reaction by Douglas. He may go back to that.
Combinations by Keane, not much landing there, truthfully, but he is busy. Douglas again getting the hook, and he's slapping with that punch, but boy, that's his ticket. Dave, wouldn't you be cranking those hooks if you were Douglas? Oh, that hook hurt him by Keane.
Yeah, especially the way it worked out for him early in this fight, and then last round we saw in his flash of coming on, it started out with the hooks.
I mean, that punch really is there for him. I don't know if I'd bother throwing a lot of other things. I would just keep cranking those. Even when he telegraphs it, he lands it. About a minute left to go here in round 4, but Colm Keane is having himself a pretty good 4th round.
This is where Douglas does not want to be. On the ropes and then taking that hook and sagging with it and getting himself into bigger trouble.
Clawing with the jab is John Douglas. And now he pushes Keane back. Keane punch himself out momentarily. Keane now holding on a little bit. Douglas trying to push him. Keane, the 22-year-old, former top amateur in Ireland.
You look at the fact that Keane getting a little tired, it just underscores that body punching point some more. For Douglas, he could really maximize the effect of that, wear his opponent down, if he could dig those body shots in a little bit more.
A couple of more hooks by Keane, and so he's had himself a pretty good fourth round. Well, John Douglas has probably dug himself a little hole. He'll try and come back in the fifth.
If you want legs like this, get ready to order.
There are easy movements that you can do to tone your thighs, but the key to getting great sculpted legs is the sequence.
Get Thin Thighs Guaranteed through this exclusive TV offer. This 8-minute video is the definitive thigh trimming routine. Sectional progression targets each key area in a precise order, guaranteed to tone your thighs.
I thought I'd never trim my outside thighs, but this tape did it. It really works.
Get Thin Thighs Guaranteed for only $19.95 and will include great stretch, great arms, and great buns. A $59 value for just $1 more. That's 3 more titles for $1 if you call right now. This video is guaranteed to give you thin thighs or your money back, so order now.
Order yours right now at beachbody.com or call toll-free at 1-800-791-5577. That's 1-800-791-5577. Order yours right now.
It's Bob's.
We move into the fifth round of this scheduled 6-rounder. In the blue trunks, it is John Douglas, and in the black with the multi-colors of Ireland is Colm Keane, who is in fact as Irish as you get, from Galway, Ireland, but now living in Dorchester, Massachusetts. He came in here with a record of 4-0, and Douglas from New York City came in with a 2-5 record.
Okay, punch out of there, guys. Right, step back.
It has been a fight in which there have been no knockdowns. Both men, I think, have been stunned on a couple of occasions. Douglas maybe more often.
Douglas had more moments in that round where his hands came down and looked a little bit tired and could not react as quickly as he would like.
John Douglas facially reminds me a little bit of the Mayweather clan, doesn't he? Not too much, but just a little.
It's there, yeah. Well, there's a family that learned to jab by osmosis.
Roger, the former great champion. Jeff, a good boxer. And, of course, now Floyd Mayweather Jr. And his dad, Floyd, was a good fighter before he went to prison. But the whole family was on jab, that's for sure.
Let him go.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. now one of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world, for sure. Halfway through the 5th round. Al Bernstein, along with Dave Von Tempo.
Punch out of there, guys.
Delighted to join us, and pleasure to work with you again, Dave. It's been a little while.
It's great to be back after about a year and a half on our different circuits that we can mesh here. It's wonderful to be back with you, bud.
Yeah, we've called many fights from this venue, and it's a delight to be back here at the Sands Hotel and Casino in your stomping grounds, Atlantic City.
A home game.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, coming up, we will have our main event. David Toledo defending his IBF Intercontinental Featherweight Championship. And that will be coming up shortly. His opponent is Mike Juarez, who has already had 1 shot at a world title. And it didn't go well for him. He's hoping tonight will go better. Douglas hoping to zone a little better in this round.
We're trading the left hooks.
And as our intrepid forecaster Dave Von Tempo said at the beginning, a knockout was less likely in this fight, and he was correct.
John, be first! Be first!
Two guys very tired now.
Be first!
Yeah, both men are pawing a little more with their punches. Again, Douglas trying to get that hook in. That'll do it for round 5. "31-year-old Mike Juarez getting ready for his shot against David Toledo. Juarez, a fighter who has lost 5 times in his career, but 3 of those were to world champions.
This is the last round.
And among them, Eric Morales, and Bones Adams, also Philip Holiday. They weren't all champions when he lost them, although Morales was. So he's had some tough competition.
Last and final round, come out and touch it up.
Excuse me, Juarez has lost 9 times. I misstated that, but 3 of those were to champions.
All right, touch it up. Okay.
Just helping Mike out with his record a little bit.
There's nothing better than pick up a few wins on it. Look at that.
I'm here to help, you know. We're into the 6th and final round of this matchup between Colm Keane and John Douglas. Keane, a light heavyweight from Galway, Ireland, by way of Dorchester, Massachusetts, and John Douglas from New York City.
Now you would figure for Douglas, he came out, took his shot early. He probably saved a little for this round, a fight that he has a chance to win.
Good left took a moment ago by Keane, really pushed him back. It's probably a fight in which Keane is winning, but he hasn't completely dominated, which I suspect he wanted to do. And when you're 4-0 and you talk about title aspirations, these are the kind of guys you're supposed to beat more convincingly, I hate to say.
You're supposed to get either the early knockout or the paint job decision in which you didn't lose a round and nothing was ever in doubt.
And that hasn't exactly been the case, even if Keane could end up winning every round on some of the judges' scorecards. It's possible. Oh, wow, he's in trouble. Keane was whacked with a right hand by John Douglas. Can Douglas get anything done? And Keane, it's not a knockdown, but man, John Douglas is close, and he is just flailing away, and that's part of the problem for Douglas. Keane's still hurt, and Douglas throwing the most awkward punches we can ever imagine.
Not bad for a bump, as he was called by his opponent coming in.
Well, he has gotten Keane in trouble here. Maybe has given Keane a chance to get himself back into it. We'll see. Right hand and a hook, and now he's landing. Even though those aren't powerful blows, Keane is hurt. So,
and he is very tired.
If Douglas threw anything straight, he might knock Keane down. And of course, in a 6-round fight, a knockout could be really important.
Yeah, big 2-point swing. You put the opponent down in the final round. So huge. Keane is just leaning on Douglas. Now you were bringing up the point about what do you try to accomplish when you're 4-0, and they'll have to be very carefully matched in the future.
At this juncture, because John Douglas at 2-5 has given Colm Keane all he can handle, and here in the 6th round had him in some serious trouble. Keane looks like he has gotten himself back together, and given a pass by the fact that Douglas really didn't know how to finish it. Well, this one turned out to be a little more competitive, a little closer than some might have imagined. And so it will go to the scorecards. Keane believes he won. He probably has, but for John Douglas, this crowd appreciative of his effort.
It's a good performance by him. He came in, he fought to his level. He showed everything about, actually showed in terms of being unable to finish why the 2-5 record is there. Just that one little notch you can't get to the higher level, but he had a lot of heart.
He did that indeed, and we'll find out who won this one, and then our main event.
That's 1-800-570-3443. Or send a check or money order to the address on your screen. So call 1-800-570-3443.
In this light heavyweight encounter between Colm Keane and John Douglas. And to give us the word, let's go to Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action here at the Sands Casino Hotel, Atlantic City, we go to the Corona scorecard. Judge Lawrence Layton scores about 57 to 56, Keane. Judge John Riley scores about 58-56, Douglas. And Judge Hilton Whitaker scores about 58-57 for your winner by split decision, the pride of Galway, Ireland, Colm Keane.
So a very close decision in which Colm Keane gets the job done against John Douglas. A split decision, and fight could have gone either way, I guess. We kind of thought Keane maybe edged him out.
And it showed up like that on a couple of the cards.
So our main event still to come. It is, in fact, next.